Become a supporter on Patreon. Thank you for my patrons on Patreon, Diary of a Mystic. And thank you to Mystic Village. Hi everyone, this is Diary of a Mystic. Welcome back to my channel. I wanted to do a psychic tarot reading on Fotis Dulos, who is accused, alongside with his girlfriend, Michelle Troconis, however you say her name, in the disappearance of his estranged wife, Jennifer Dulos, who went missing May 24th, 2019. They were in divorce proceedings prior to her disappearance. And if you're following this case, then you most likely know a lot of the specifics. I'm not going to go into it. Fotis and his live-in girlfriend, Michelle, were arrested on June 1st and charged with tampering with or fabricating physical evidence and hindering prosecution. And now the case has been moved to January 2020. So I wanted to do a reading on the case, primarily focusing on Fotis Dulos himself. The couple had 5 children. Blood has been found in the garage of the home, as well as in trash bags that Fotis and his girlfriend Michelle were seen dumping along like a 4-mile stretch that had Jennifer's blood on the trash bag. So I haven't shuffled. I'm going to shuffle on camera. If you don't like the shuffle, you can skip. I'll put a timestamp down below to skip. So let's get started. I've been following this case this year. I've yet to do a reading on it, but I wanted to do a reading as Fotis Dulos was in court this week. They've put a gag order in place. He had given prior interviews on television. I know that he is about 51 years old, and he was born in Turkey and raised in Greece. And the couple had 5 children, including a set of twins. Apparently, Jennifer Dulos, about 2012, had a blog online kind of documenting her daily life with her kids and everything. So I do know that Fotis is a real estate developer. And apparently, Jennifer's father loaned him a large sum of money, either to start up the business or something to do with that. But that's what I know about the case. So And also, I wanted to add that apparently Jennifer Dulos had found out about Fotis Dulos having an affair with Michelle, and so she was aware of the affair. So, because the case has been moved to January, we come in with the Magician. There's a new start, new beginning with this case. There's going to be a lot of energy that's being validated in the reading, especially in the first month of 2020. So, there's going to be a lot of energy put forward, put forth in the case, and especially with new evidence perhaps coming forward as well. We come in with the Hermit next to the Seven of Swords. So definitely someone is keeping something to themselves, and this is essentially lying, trying to get away with something, slander, okay, doing things behind people's backs. So there's a real energy of Fotis Dulos' energy is one of manipulation, secrecy, being sneaky, being shady. He's definitely guarded. He's guarded, but he's also very calculated and smart with the Hermit card. There's definitely something about his energy that speaks to me of being very good at manipulation, very good at they're saying coercion. So definitely one where I feel that his energy is coming through as setting the temperament of setting himself up to look like a certain way, but it's a farce. There's a lot of energy in the reading from him as being lying, cheating, stealing, trying to get away with stuff first off in the reading, okay? There is definitely a feel of Jennifer Dulos' energy coming in as wanting to be financially independent, financially free from him, regaining her independence solo as a woman. And there is some money involved. So we know that they come from a wealthy, affluent Connecticut background. So we have the Nine of Pentacles, which represents her. This oftentimes can represent a woman of abundance in her environment, independent, financially independent, solo. The Ace of Pentacles, that's a settlement, that's an inheritance, that's a distribution of a large sum of money, that's a new financial gain, a new financial opportunity, a windfall. So there was a lot of not only custody issues, property, assets, money, etc. from the divorce. She could have been very wealthy. I'm not sure about her background. I know that apparently her father gave or loaned Fotis a lot of money to either start his business. So her background may be very wealthy or affluent in that sense as well. Looking forward, especially in the next 6 to 8 weeks, going forward into January, there's going to be progress with the prosecution. There's going to be progress with the prosecution. They've got something on, and it may be coming from his girlfriend They have something where she may, because she's implicated with him as well, there's something coming from their relationship that may be introduced in court, the timeline of his relationship with Michelle, but there's definitely success coming, recognition, reward, some type of victories coming. It could get very passionate. Uh, he also seems to be a very. They keep showing me this, like when he speaks, he's um, like he talks with his hands, or he's real passionate or emotional. So there's a lot of emotion, a lot of passion. Uh, they could be bringing up his relationship with Michelle. So I keep seeing this. There's definitely a turn, and next year maybe this case when it goes to court. Uh, I'm seeing 10 weeks. It may last longer than that, maybe 10 weeks to 10 months, something with a 10. But there's definitely a turn coming. There's a twist of events. Uh they're telling me maniacal. He's maniacal. He's just kind of like, if he could represent himself, I think that he would. Uh there's a twist and turn of events. He may try to come across as being the one with the 10 of Wands energy. Oh, I shouldered the burden. Kind of putting it on himself as the victim. I'm the one that's the victim. I shouldered the burden of the marriage, the children, the parenting, the finances, yada yada yada. So he's also going to come in to be shaming and blaming the victim, who is Jennifer, but he's coming in as the victim himself. So there's also definitely a new cycle of events. Look for that in this case. It's going to have some twists and turns, okay, especially with the Wheel of Fortune. There's some twists and turns in this case. I see that as well. There's definitely something representing direction or movement or travel when it comes to where Jennifer, or what happened to Jennifer. I know a lot of people speculate the park that her truck was dropped off at Waverly Park. I always sense that she's somewhere in Waverly Park. I always sense that. I always picked up on water. I'm sure other readers out there have as well. But I always saw like a dam, or like a concrete bridge embankment with a dam, or something that is not a lake or a pond, but more like a stream or a deep stream that kind of has like a dam or a bridge embankment near it. So I definitely feel that something to do with direction, travel. They're saying northeast, either northeast from her home or northeast from uh, her where her car is parked. So this represents him. This is the King of Pentacles. This is a wealthy financial businessman. Okay, this is someone also who can come across as, when you first meet them, as being very generous, very down to earth, very grounded as well. But this is definitely, this could represent her father, Jennifer's father, but this is coming in more as Dulos himself. And we have the Knight of Rods looking at him. So in the reading, the Knight of Rods is looking at the King. This tells me that there was a change of location. He may have moved her body more than once. They're saying 1 to 2. He may have relocated the body at some point. There is some type of relocation with her. It wasn't like he just placed her somewhere. I feel like he moved her as well. So there's definitely movement, direction, and this could have been going on. They were arrested soon after, about a week after she disappeared. But during those 7 days, there could have been a time period where he was on the move. Like he was definitely with the trash bags and stuff, I know, but there was also some other type of movement. There's going to be a lot of kind of like the Crystal Kenny Patrick Frazee case with her relationship with him. I feel that's going to be brought up in this court case hearing as well between Michelle and Fotis. There's also going to, of course, be the marriage between Fotis and Jennifer will also be speculated and looked at in depth. But I definitely feel kind of like similar to the Patrick Frazee case, Crystal Kenny, where Michelle assisted him, kept kept a secret for him, a veil of secrecy. So there's definitely still something that's hidden that reminds me of the Crystal Kenny relationship with Patrick Frazee. But we come in with the Two of Cups energy. This is relationship. This is mutual understanding. They're both seeing eye to eye. Okay. They're both in this together. It's very mutual. So there's a mutual decision here. She may have been a part of the decision for Jennifer's disappearance, murder. Okay. She was a part of it. She was a part of the contract, they're telling me, the agreement. Um, she was very much a part of that. But there's a veil of secrecy. When I see the high priestess, not all is being revealed. There's a veil of secrecy. There's something that is being protected as well, which very much reminds me of Crystal Frazee, oh Jesus, Crystal Kenny and Patrick Frazee. I would look for there's going to be inconsistencies in their stories. I would definitely look for signs of progress. If this case is long and drawn out, signs of progress around the month of March of 2020. There also could have been financial instability with Fotis towards the end of the marriage to Jennifer in terms of her filing for divorce. That could have really thrown him off financially. I kind of feel like she was the one that had the money. She was the one that came from the wealthy family or the family with money. Something definitely threw him off financially. And it seems like any sign of progress in terms of this case going forward, or maybe perhaps signs of knowing more about what happened to her, where her body is located, etc., maybe coming around the month of March of 2020. Definitely in the springtime. I don't feel like this case is going to be like real quick, like 10 weeks or 3 weeks. I feel like this case is going to be kind of drawn out for several months. I definitely feel that Jennifer had not only prior knowledge of the affair, I think she may also have had prior altercations or interactions with Michelle. There also could have been some bullying and harassment from Michelle or from both Michelle and Fotis towards Jennifer. Like Michelle really got in there and got into their business, was it wasn't just between her and Fotis. It was between her, Fotis, and Michelle, the new girlfriend. So, yeah, this girlfriend played a large part. She also comes across as being very straightforward and blunt. And this caused Jennifer a lot of anxiety. There's a lot of gossip about what kind of mom she was, about what kind of mother Jennifer was. And it's a lot of hearsay. It's a lot of gossip. So I definitely feel that this case is kind of going to be long drawn and stretched out. It's not going to have like a time limit. It may, but I kind of sense that it's just going to be slow and steady. Like there's a lot of incriminating evidence against the two, Michelle and Fotis, but there's something that's definitely going to be stretched out. And I kind of sense that Michelle is going to speak against him, or more information will come out about him through her. This also could be via another female. So that's my reading surrounding Fotis Dulos. If you're following the case of the disappearance of Jennifer Dulos, who went missing May 24th, 2019. He's being charged, as well as the girlfriend. So thank you so much for watching. Thank you to Mystic Village. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Stay blessed, take care, and I'll speak to you soon.